We really need something like the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in the pandemic space. We need something that can clearly articulate pandemics as a planetary challenge in the same way that we have come to understand climate change, biodiversity loss, and pollution as planetary challenges. And what that means in practice is we need to be able to synthesize the evidence that pandemic risk is increasing. We need to be able to catalyze new research quantifying those risks. And we need to be able to advise governments so that they can actually take actions that reduce the risk of future pandemics. Historically, science policy interfaces have often separated problem from solution. So, for example, on climate change, the IPCC considers separately the science that the climate is changing, the science of how we reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and the full scale of impacts on society. And that means that knowledge is compartmentalized and decision makers aren't thinking about solutions that include both mitigation and adaptation. In the future, and this is something that we're making progress on already across the board, we need to be pairing problems with solutions so that people can go into these reports and find through incredibly complicated knowledge and synthesis and literature what they are looking for very specific purposes. In global health especially, but really across planetary emergencies, we talk a lot about the panic neglect cycle. Something terrible happens, we all realize that we need to take collective action, and then we collectively lose steam and we don't move forward. The challenge of creating an effective science policy interface is creating something that has permanence, that has a standing function within our governance and within our global community that is able to not just show up after an outbreak and say, here's how we prevent the next outbreak, but continue that work over years or decades.